Hi everyone, I am doing another update video. This one is on my experience at Full Sail so far. It has only been a week, but I'm really loving it. My assignments haven't been bad. I joined a couple clubs at school. I went and got my ID and my parking pass so I can drive up on campus for some of the events that it has there. Since my program is online, I mainly do everything online, so I like to go do some of the GPS events and things on campus and meet people. So that's awesome. Other than that, I have been working on my writing goals. I am on close to my 1,000 words for the day. So that's today's day one of my 3 weeks of writing 1,000 words a day. So I am on track. I've been reviewing my past two books in the series that I'm working on, and it's been a while since I've written them. Since I wrote the first book, the first book came out. The first book I wrote when before I was pregnant, 2011. So that one's been almost 5 years, and then this one, the second one, Dark and Sunrise, I wrote. Let's see, right after I had. And so this one was finished and published in 2013. So it's 2, 3 years later, I can read them with fresh eyes. And I did that today. And I realized that I really like my books. When I tried to read them fresh after I finished them, I still the writer perfectionist is just critical over your own work. It's like, oh, maybe I should have done this or didn't this. I really like how I did it and how the story progressed. So when I was reviewing it today, it was just to see if I liked where the third book was going and how it was progressing, to plan out how I'm going to continue with the next few chapters as I work on my 1,000 words a day. And by doing that, what I discovered is that I'm redoing the prologue for this third book, because I wanted to do it where I can introduce the new characters that are coming in, that are going to be big players in this book. And I wanted to, just to highlight them for a little bit, since they're not in the beginning and they're not part of the storyline so far, but they will be in this third book. So I wanted to introduce them in the prologue instead of some of the characters that everybody knows. And so that prologue that I have now, I might use that for a later chapter. Maybe. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use it at all, but for right now, I'm scrapping it. I'll just save it to the side. And I've kind of redid the outline a little bit because I wanted the story to develop a little differently. So that is, I'm excited for where it's going. So as soon as this book is done, I'm going to need some beta readers. So if you are interested, hit me up on down here, message me, drop me a line with your email, or hit me up on my website at keishakellee.wix.com/writes, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with some chapters for you to go over and let me know what you think, and I can progress the book as we go along. Mostly along. If you any editors that want to, or students who want to check it out. I do write fantasy fiction, so this is if you're interested in fantasy fiction. If you're not a fantasy fiction fan and you don't like, magics and superpowers and things like that, this is not for you. So if you're into fantasy fiction and you'd like to be a beta reader for me, hit me up. Other than that, I finished reading Wildcat by Feehan, and that book was decent. For me, it had some chapters that just ran on, and I don't know if it was because I was sleepy at that time or what was going on, but it seemed like for 8 or 9 chapters straight, all the characters did was have sex. They did hardly anything else other than have sex, and that's cool. If I was, basically picked up a book of erotic fiction, and I'm not knocking it because I write erotic fiction and I have a book that is nothing but sex. But I wanted, well, I expected more of a storyline. Not that it didn't have a storyline, but where the how the story was developing, it seemed like the the antagonist came in the last chapter or the chapter before the last to challenge the the protagonist and died. But then it was quick and it was anticlimactic is what I'm looking for. The word I'm looking. It was anticlimactic because I was close to the end of the book and I was wondering where this guy was going to come in and do what he had to do, and then they would do what they had to do, and a few pages later, oh, there he goes, and then it was over. So um, it was a decent book. That's all I can say, and I thank you, Christine, for helping me to wipe my slate clean because that's what I like to read books for, is to clear my brain and get me set up for my projects. And I am excited about my project and where it's going now. I have this renewed writing spirit, and I know the people who are waiting on book 3 are probably excited to hear that I am writing right now, and I'm doing this 1,000 words a day. So that'll bring the end of this book closer to coming along. So I'm looking forward to that. Part of the reason why I this book has taken me as long as it's had is I've been in school for the last 3 years in a program that I shouldn't have been in, but I'm glad I was in. I was in a psychology program and I learned a lot. So I'm grateful for everything that I learned from the program, but it wasn't the right program for me. It kind of drained my creative energies, and I just didn't have it in me after writing all those psychology papers. I just did not want to do anything else. So I am glad that that's over and I'm in a writing program now, which is awesome. So I'll have book 3 completed before the end of this year. It'll be completed, it will be edited, and I will put it out there, at least for my beta readers anyway. So after I get it edited and reviewed, and I'll self-publish that book like the other two, and I'm looking forward to doing a better book cover for the third one. My book covers, I did all my book covers myself. So this is what the book covers look like. This one is kind of plain. This one I did, and it's cool, but I redid this book cover, and I published through Create Space. This one I did on the Ex Libri, but I kind of left Ex Libri and I put it on Create Space, same self-publishing kind of deal, but Ex Libri was more restrictive than Create Space was. I had more freedom. So that's why I went there. And the book cover that I did for Create Space, I really like a lot better because it's a black background with like the red scarlet ibis on top of it, and it looks really nice. It just pops. So the book cover for that one is really good. I have Create Cloud Suite now. I'm not good with it, but I'm going to put it to work. I'm not the best at Create Cloud with the Adobe Creative Suite, but I am going to learn it, and I'm going to make the third book cover. The third book is entitled Sweet Carony, and I was thinking about whether or not I was going to change the book title, but I decided I'm going to stick to Sweet Carony because it's basically celebrating their island, so their home. So I'm going to stick to that name, and then I'm going to delve in the worlds of some of the other characters that I've been wanting to go to that I just can't because I've been working on this series. And as soon as I finish with a book, it's not done yet. But with this third book, even though I know there's going to be more in the series, I'm going to work on another series. Plus, there's some characters in this series that deserve their own books, which I cannot write right now, even though I would love to, because I would just love to see where Javi and his brothers are, and their world under the sea is like. I would like to see how that develops in my brain. That is something that would be an awesome series by itself, but I can't do that right now. The mermaids and the river maids, I'd love to see how their world is prior to coming to everybody coming to Carony. I'd like to see how the Anshenus and the Guardians were when they were all separated before they all came together in Carony. I'd like to see how all of that comes out, but I can't do that right now because I have to finish following my four main characters, and even they have another sub-story that is playing around in here. Too many stories in here. I can't. So I'm just going to stick to what needs to be done. And other than that, I'm right on track, so I'm doing good. I'm excited for week number 2 to begin and to get my work done. I'm not sure how many more videos we're going to be doing for class, but if we do any more, I'll be adding it to this channel, so you will see how I'm progressing. And I see this video is running on, so that'll be about it today. Like I said, if you want to be a beta reader, I'll put my information in a box below, so you can hit me up here or on my website. I put my email address also, so let me know. Other than that, be blessed, guys. Have a great day.